Hi there everyone, my name is Genesis and this is Kalani and this is Nina and they're going to be my audience for today's persuasive presentation. So what is or when is animal euthanasia okay? That is our main question. What is euthanasia in the first place? Euthanasia based on the Merriam-Webster definition is the act of or practice of killing or permitting the death of hopelessly sick, injured individuals. We can consider this humans or animals. In this case, we're going to be animals. When they are in pain or when they are sick, they're hopeless. The medical procedure that is considered when doing or practicing euthanasia is a two-injection method. This is used as injecting sedative or anesthetic drugs. This puts the animal in a relaxed state. It prevents any pain that they're having or any anxiety that they might be feeling in the area or in the vibe of the room, I would say. After that, most veterinary practices often go with the second injection as barbiturate. That is mainly used again to accelerate and overdose the way that the animal body's reaction basically to being sedated and slowing their brain and nervous activity. Animal euthanasia in America, it's basically practiced because medical procedures, because aggressive breeds, population control, which is our main concern at the moment, and owner requests sometimes when we are in difficult situations and we have to make a decision, or other cases if it's ordered by a court in any case of pet being aggressive and they have to make a decision over if an animal is going to get euthanized or not. Animal euthanasia in America, this is a graphic that's showing basically the percentage of when animal euthanasia is practiced. Mostly we can say that animal euthanasia is practiced for aggressive behavior. This is animals that are considered an aggressive breed. And we can see the difference in between the graphics when in 2015 it went up a little bit and the cases where euthanasia is being practiced. Population control is one of the big opposites of practicing euthanasia. It's practiced mostly by shelters, not Humane Society is one of the foundations or organizations that is trying to prevent euthanasias, and they want to adopt more animals so that way they don't have to euthanize animals that are not in pain and don't need it. This association is not funded by the government to try to find easy solutions, but adopting or neutering or spaying animals. This is a graphic from the Animal Humane Society where they're trying to reduce the amount of animals that get euthanized throughout the year. They're trying to adopt more and reduce the amount of animals, and you can see how they're succeeding throughout the years in adopting more and euthanizing less for no reasons. Benefits of animal euthanasia that we can find when we have to make a decision could be considered when we have medical bill expenses, unnecessary suffering, when an animal is in pain again, or making a proper goodbye if we make a decision that we need to euthanize an animal. These three main points are going to give us an idea of when we're having to decide for the best of an animal if we are in that, or if we have to make a decision like euthanizing, understanding how there are cons and when we should not maybe opt for that easy option. First one is when medical bills are a big thing on people deciding whether to euthanize a animal or not. when we are taking our pet to the vet and we find out that they have an illness or they're on pain, or we find out that they have cancer, and I've seen it as working as a veterinary technician, um, these can stack up and it can bring you a big bill. There are people that can afford it, there are people that cannot afford it. First thing is emergencies that happen. Animals are part of the family as most people consider them. Follow-ups, procedure, tests, medication, or treatments when we find out about an illness. Sometimes we opt to do treatments because we don't want to give up and we want to see them happy and we have the money. The debate in this topic is the decision towards affording treatment, giving an animal the chance versus opting for an easy option. Either we give an animal the chance if we have the money, or we opt for the easy option because it's going to create stresses and unnecessary problems. So we usually have the debate whether to do it or not, and we have to make a decision. The unnecessary suffering comes when we have to sit down and have a critical thought about what to do and when to take the decision of euthanizing an animal without feeling that guilt. Euthanizing can happen when animals are old age. Their body starts giving up and they start having physical problems or issues or conditions, and we think that it's better for them to be at peace, and we have to make that decision. Illnesses, which comes from old age or young age, injuries can happen at any time, and if an animal gets hit by a car, for example, we have to make the decision of knowing what is the cost of treating the animal and how can we help the animal being in no pain at all. Disabilities can come with animals as well as they do with people. And the debate here is the decision of euthanizing animals based on ending the suffering versus euthanizing animals with no problems, or because they have behavioral issues or they are considered aggressive breeds. Again, we take the decision of euthanizing animals, and mostly with the overpopulation in shelters. This shows, and this graphic is basically showing how these animals are tested and how they can handle, socialize, etc. And we see, if I can give an example, one of the pit bull breeds is second to be the best one at doing all these behavioral tests, as well as it says that basically 80% of pit bulls are killed for just considering that these are aggressive breeds, among other percentages that it's given us. There are other breeds as well as are considered aggressive, and they land into shelters and they end up being put in this death sentence for no reason because we have limitations. Euthanizing an animal as well in the position of having a ill pet or old pet or a pet that is suffering and in pain and we know it, is preparing emotionally when we've made a connection with an animal and we treat it as part of the family, or we have an emotional connection with it. Having peace of mind for making a decision that we thought it's better for them to prevent them from suffering. Deciding how and when the animal goes, giving them maybe the best day that they could ever had, or making better decisions, and dedicating our time a little bit more to give this pet the emotional connection that they need, and again making the best of time left. And the topic brings a debating between the decision of making the best of memories versus creating a stressful situation and leaving the animal to die in pain. In between having to be in that position, we know that these animals are suffering. If we would be put in their position, we need to make a decision, because we have the option of giving them a proper goodbye and connecting with them for the last time, or stopping their suffering, basically. And if we ask ourselves, what decision should I make if we are ever put in that position, or if we have to fight against what it's bringing us to euthanizing a lot of animals that are not in suffering, we should think about the options that we have. Think about what's best for the animal. Think about what's best for everyone in a situation in which everybody else in the family has a voice and a vote on the decision, and thinking about the pet. If we are in that situation, we want to suffer, or same thing, we are basically tightening it up a little bit in the economical situation, and again, not everybody can afford it. And we should promote adoption and animal neutering or spaying, so that way we prevent the animals being euthanized for no reason, or ending up in shelters, or paying for animals that we can probably donate that money for other good reasons. So we have the option of, again, ending animal suffering when it's right, not because we want to kill animals because they don't have a voice or a vote, and we don't want to give a chance to animals that really deserve to live. So thank you very much for watching, everybody.